حضورنا الكريم، نرحب الآن بالرئيس ورئيس مجلس الإدارة لشركة بيبسيكو إندرا نوي.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chairman and CEO PepsiCo, Ms. Indra Nooyi.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum. It's an honor to be with all of you here today. And allow me to begin by thanking His Excellency Abdul Latif Al Uthman for inviting me to speak to you and for all that he's doing to spur investment and growth across the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This forum is one of the most important settings for engaging in constructive dialogue about the Kingdom's future. Over the coming days, you'll be seeking answers to some of the most pressing questions about the Kingdom's economy. And these answers matter to me as someone with a deep affection and appreciation for Saudi Arabia and its people. And they also matter to me as Chairman and CEO of a company that's deeply committed to the Kingdom's success. And I was reminded of this commitment on my last trip just about a year ago. I was here to celebrate the opening of a new PepsiCo plant in Dammam. And as I said at that time, that plant represents the best of PepsiCo. It's a hub for our business, powering the production of some of our most loved snacks, from Lay's potato chips to Doritos, for people across Saudi Arabia and the region. It's a cutting-edge facility, minimizing our impact on the environment by maximizing our energy efficiency. And it's a job creator for Saudis, employing more than 200 people, nearly 70% of them nationals and 20% of them women. 70% nationals and 20% women. And this plant is just one example of how deeply we are investing in the Kingdom's future. The PepsiCo system in Saudi Arabia, made up of PepsiCo and our bottlers, employs nearly 10,000 people. And thousands more sell our products across shops in the Kingdom. PepsiCo alone has invested more than 5 billion Saudi riyals here over the past 5 years, with our total system investments well in excess of that. And the finishing touches are currently being placed on a plant built by our bottling partner in the Jeddah industrial city that's poised to be the world's largest plant making PepsiCo beverages. The world's largest beverage plant in our system right here in Jeddah. That's how committed we are to Saudi Arabia. That's how much we believe in the Kingdom's future. But these investments, thank you. But these investments aren't just a testament to the future we are building together. They're also a testament to a long-standing partnership that stretches back nearly 60 years. A partnership built on mutual trust, mutual respect, and mutual interest. Much has changed since the first bottles of Pepsi Cola rolled down the production line here in Riyadh. Change not just for PepsiCo, but for Saudi Arabia itself. And over the past several decades, we've seen extraordinary growth and prosperity right here in the Kingdom. Even during the 2008 financial crisis, when much of the world was struggling, the Kingdom stood strong. But as we all know, the economic landscape is quite a bit different today. The price of oil has fallen, that's not new news. Emerging markets are slowing down, and instability is racking almost every corner of the globe. So this forum is taking place at an important moment, because the decisions that are made in the coming months and years will shape the future of the Kingdom over the coming generation. And the question that all of us must confront then is, how can we navigate this sort of a landscape? What can each of us, no matter whether we're in government or in business, do today so that we can all thrive tomorrow? How can we work together to put the Kingdom on the path to prosperity, not just over the short term, but over the long term? Needless to say, these are all challenging questions, and I don't have any easy answers. There are no quick fixes or silver bullets when it comes to navigating this economy. But I do have a few observations that I hope will illuminate answers to some of the questions on all of our minds here today. My first observation is about the importance of equipping young Saudis with the skills they'll need to shape the kingdom's economic future. The French philosopher Auguste Comte once said that demography is destiny. And if that's true, then the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is destined to be young. More than half the population here is under the age of 25, and at least 4.5 million new workers could enter the job market by 2030. Of course, these demographic trends are posing a number of challenges, but they also represent a powerful opportunity. It's an opportunity to leverage the talents of an entire generation on behalf of the kingdom's success. And that talent is extraordinary. I know because I've seen it. And I haven't just seen it in men, I've seen it in the women too. I've seen it in women like Nora Al-Okhail, a serial entrepreneur whose company Squares Events offers event management services to clients from Saudi Aramco to YouTube. I've seen it in women like Maria Al-Mekhdali, a social entrepreneur in Jeddah who runs a publishing startup for young people called Rumman Company. I met Nora, Maria, and other entrepreneurs while they were visiting the United States last summer on a trip sponsored by the King Salman Youth Center, which is an incredible initiative that's unleashing entrepreneurialism right here in the kingdom. We didn't have much time together, that group and I, but our visit lasted long enough for me to see the intelligence, the strength, and the determination of today's young Saudis. And it's reaffirmed for me the importance of making sure we are harnessing the abilities of everyone in this new generation, men and women alike. Now, I know that the kingdom has been taking steps to empower women, including the recent elections that saw women taking office for the first time. And I want to commend you for what you're doing. But the task of bringing more women into the workforce should not fall on the government alone. At PepsiCo, we are doing our part to create an environment where women can grow and thrive. Take Wahida Kaoji. She started working at PepsiCo more than 2 years ago as a line operator. Within 6 months, she became a line leader, managing 40 people. Or take Hind Al-Nofal, who's been with the company nearly 6 years. She's risen to become the human resource business partner responsible for 1,450 people in 3 plants. So whether you're interested in a career in HR or anything else, we at PepsiCo offer a path for you. If you're a woman with a technical degree, we offer you a safe and exciting place to work. If you're interested in manufacturing, you can join Wahida and the more than 100 others in our women-only packaging lines. And if you're interested in sales or product marketing or customer relationships, we also have what we call the PepsiCo Sales Academy, which offers job training at no cost to men and women alike. These are some of the ways we are not just working to bring new people, regardless of gender, into the workplace, but also helping existing workers upgrade their skills for the demands of a 21st century economy. And I encourage every company that cares about Saudi Arabia's future to join us in this cause. Companies like us should be providing the training and tools to build the workforce of tomorrow right here in the kingdom. That's part of what it means to be a good partner, and that's one of the ways we can all work together to put the kingdom on the path to long-term success. So my first observation is about the importance of equipping all young Saudis with the skills they need to compete. My second observation is that in periods of economic challenge, stretching the dollar or the real as far as they go is more important than ever before. And one of the best ways we can do that is by working together, business and government, to leverage each other's investment and expertise to overcome the kinds of common challenges that neither of us can or should be tackling alone. And let me give you an example of what I mean. We have a plant in Aurangabad district in India, which over time became water distressed due to poor agricultural practices. When that happened, the community came to us for help. So what did we do? As part of that community, we knew we had a role to play in addressing this issue. But I also knew that this was not a problem PepsiCo could solve alone. This was a problem that business and government needed to solve together. So we sat down with local leaders to address this issue. We asked ourselves, how do we increase rainwater harvesting? How do we make agriculture more efficient? How can we improve business practices in industry? And armed with the answers to those questions, we leveraged the full range of tools and technologies in our arsenal, and we solved the problem together. The result? Because of the steps we've taken, not just in Aurangabad, but across India, we are now water positive in the country, which means we are conserving more water, much more in fact, than we are consuming. Farmers are not only planting more crops, they're planting them more often, and they're earning more money for their families. And it's not just in India where we're having this kind of impact. Here in Saudi Arabia, we've been working with our suppliers to cut the amount of water in farming practices, saving millions of liters of water from potato farming in 2015. And when it comes to our snack plants, we saved more than 900 million liters of water just last year. That means we're now using 2/3 less water than we were using nearly a decade ago. 2/3 less water. Now I have to tell you, I grew up in a water-distressed area in the south of India. So I understand firsthand how important it is to conserve water. But the truth is, this is not just about saving water, it's about saving money. In fact, as a result of our efforts, becoming more water efficient globally, we saved almost $20 million just in 2014. So this is just one example of ways that those of us in business and government can leverage the resources and know-how of the other to overcome challenges that matter to all of us. So that's my second observation. My third observation is about the importance of building a sustainable economy in the long term. Of course, part of what that means is adapting to a changing economic landscape. And this is something I learned very early in my time at PepsiCo. As some of you may know, this is my 10th year as a CEO of the company, but I actually joined the company 21 years ago. Back in the 90s, I remember watching the kind of snacks and drinks my colleagues were bringing with them into our own meetings. And I noticed that over time, what they were bringing to the meetings was changing. They were in fact becoming healthier. Now, the amazing thing about a company like PepsiCo is that our employees are consumers too. So when I saw that my colleagues' habits were changing, I knew it meant that there was a broader shift taking place in society as a whole. And that's when we said that we had to fundamentally transform our product portfolio. So we set about doing that. And that's what led us to acquire iconic brands like Tropicana and Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats, as you know, is the brand that's been a popular soup ingredient on iftar tables ever since Abu Dawood first started distributing it almost 50 years ago. And that's what led us to form a joint venture with Riyadh's own Al Marai company and acquire Beatty and Tiba, two of the region's leading producers of great tasting, nutritious milk, juice, and yogurt products. And that's what's leading us to expand our portfolio of healthier products today, from Quaker soups to Sunbite bread snacks to Lay's Forno baked chips. And these are the kinds of investments that are driving our growth here in Saudi Arabia and across the GCC. And these are the kinds of investments that can serve as an economic engine as you look towards new opportunities beyond oil. Now, I want to applaud the Kingdom for the good work you're doing to grow the economy here in ways that don't rely exclusively on oil. And I want you to know that we want to be a vehicle for your growth. In fact, I would observe that the food and beverage industry as a whole is an incredibly attractive sector in a diversifying economy. Unlike other industries, we don't need armies of software developers. We don't need people with PhDs. Instead, all that we need is a large workforce we can train and deploy and an economic climate that's supportive. That means we've got to make sure business and government are listening to each other. It means that we're having an open dialogue when it comes to shared priorities, from opening new plants to writing new laws. And it means working quickly to help each other when we can. And that's how we'll build a pro-growth economy that's attracting foreign investment. That's how we'll transfer the industrial sector and unleash the kingdom's full potential as an economic hub across the region. And that's how we'll navigate this economic landscape and help make sure that PepsiCo and the kingdom, business and government, continue to thrive for decades to come. You know, I'm very optimistic about the future, and the reason is very simple. We could not ask for a better partner than the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. There's an old Arabic proverb, some of you may know. It says, choose your neighbor before choosing your house. Choose your companion before your journey. Choose your neighbor before choosing your house. Choose your companion before your journey. Our partnership with the kingdom reflects the wisdom of that proverb. There was no way of knowing what the future would hold when the first Pepsi-Cola bottles rolled down the line here in Riyadh many, many decades ago. In the years since, we have seen extraordinary growth and prosperity here in the kingdom and for PepsiCo. And I'm proud to say that our products have been part of the fabric of the lives of Saudis for generations. For decades, our products have been trusted by consumers and have brought them the joy of simple pleasures. In the case of our 7-Up brand, it's meant even more to countless mothers in this country who use it as a way to settle their upset stomachs of the children. As a mother myself, I know just how much that can mean. The kingdom and PepsiCo have had a wonderful history together, and I believe we have a bright future ahead. As we move forward together, this partnership, this companionship is more important today than ever before. In the years to come, the world will become much more complex. New challenges will emerge, even as old ones are overcome, and the pace of change will undoubtedly accelerate. And yet, reflecting on our nearly 60 years of partnership with the kingdom, I'm absolutely confident that if we continue to walk hand in hand, our journey together will lead us to an even brighter future over the next 60 years and beyond. Shukran.